This is the type of thing I'd expect to find in Europe. Well, I first saw it, I thought that looks like a medieval cross.
Is this worth anything?
It could be. That could be part of the treasure that we're looking for. Don't have to be gold and silver. It could be some fantastic religious treasure, and I'm hoping it is.
Imagine working on a single puzzle your entire life. You've spent millions of dollars and countless hours staring at the same pieces, hoping one day they'll fit together. For the Oak Island crew, this isn't a game, it's a relentless obsession. They've been digging for years, following clues left by pirates, Templar Knights, or someone else entirely. Now, after all the dead ends and heartbreaks, they've found a key. Not a key to a treasure chest, but a key to the island's entire history.
It looks like it's lead.
How old?
Look at that.
How old?
That is, oh my gosh. That's really old.
This single artifact is so shocking that it rewrites the timeline and confirms their wildest theories, surpassing anything anyone ever dared to imagine. A cross to bear. For centuries, Oak Island has been a magnet for dreamers, a place where the promise of untold riches has fueled obsession. Many people are crazy about the legend of the Money Pit, a supposed man-made shaft of incredible depth protected by ingenious flood tunnels. The story goes that in 1795, 3 teenagers discovered a circular depression in the ground. As they dug, they found oak platforms every 10 feet, a tantalizing sign of a deliberate and complex construction.
This can tell a story, and I know that my Uncle Rick is going to be really excited to see this.
He is, mate. High five, mate. This is absolutely brilliant.
But at 90 feet, they unearthed a mysterious stone covered in strange symbols. The moment they removed it, seawater flooded the pit, and the treasure, if it ever existed, was lost to the depths. This event kicked off a 200-year treasure hunt that has claimed fortunes and lives. You see, the thing nobody tells you is that the Money Pit might just be the world's most elaborate diversion. The real secrets of Oak Island, it turns out, were hiding elsewhere. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, have poured their lives into this mystery. Driven by a childhood fascination sparked by a 1965 issue of Reader's Digest, they've brought modern technology and unwavering determination to the island. They've peeled back layers of history, finding everything from Spanish coins and centuries-old coconut fiber to tantalizing traces of gold and silver deep underground. But not all things are what they seem. Every discovery seemed to lead to more questions, every tunnel to another dead end. The emotional weight of this quest is immense. It's a burden carried not just by the brothers, but by the entire fellowship, a tight-knit group of experts and friends bound by a shared dream. They needed a win. They needed something to prove their faith was not misplaced. That moment finally arrived, not in the famed Money Pit, but in the muddy banks of Smith's Cove. Smith's Cove has always been a hotbed of activity. It's believed to be the location of the legendary box drains, a sophisticated filtration system designed to feed the Money Pit's flood tunnels. Metal detectorist Gary Drayton, a man whose enthusiasm is as infectious as his knack for finding top pocket finders, was sweeping the area.
Holy shamoly, all right.
It's a cross.
That's a cross.
His detector suddenly let out a piercing shriek. It was a strong, confident signal. The team gathered, their breath held in anticipation. With cameras rolling, Gary began to dig. At first, it looked like just another piece of scrap metal, something to be logged and analyzed. But as he carefully brushed away the centuries of grime, a distinct shape began to emerge. It was a cross. The atmosphere shifted instantly. This wasn't a simple, modern crucifix. It was heavy, made of lead, and had a square hole punched through the top. Its design was ancient, crude, yet deliberate. The entire crew fell silent.
Oh my gosh, that's really old.
How old?
This is the type of thing I'd expect to find in Europe. Well, I first saw it, I thought that looks like a medieval cross.
Rick Lagina, a man whose heart has always been the driving force of this operation, stared at the object with an intensity that bordered on reverence. This was more than just an artifact. It was a symbol that had no business being on this small island off the coast of Nova Scotia. As the reality of the discovery began to sink in, the raw emotion of the moment became overwhelming. After years of fighting the island and coming up short, this felt like a reward, a sign. Tears welled in Rick's eyes as he held the cross. This single piece of lead represented the validation of his entire life's quest. It was a tangible link to the past, a silent testament to the incredible, untold story they had been chasing for so long. The war room, usually a place of theories and debate, became a chamber of quiet, profound emotion. The questions came flooding in. Who made this cross? How old was it? And most importantly, how did it get here? The team knew this find required serious analysis. The cross was carefully transported to an expert for testing. The results, when they came back, were nothing short of staggering. Using an XRF analyzer, a device that can determine the elemental composition of an object, the expert delivered a bombshell. The lead was not from North America. Its specific makeup was traced back to a single region in southern France. Even more shocking was the dating. The cross was estimated to have been crafted sometime between 1200 and the 1600s, a period hundreds of years before the discovery of the money pit. This wasn't a pirate's bauble, this was a medieval artifact of European origin. The implications were immense, pointing directly to one of the most whispered about theories in the Oak Island legend, the Knights Templar. The discovery sent shockwaves of excitement through the team. The French connection, the Knights Templar. The name itself conjures images of crusading knights, immense wealth, and shadowy conspiracies. Founded in the 12th century, this powerful Catholic military order was tasked with protecting Christian pilgrims in the Holy Land. For nearly 200 years, they grew into one of the most formidable organizations in the world. They commanded a massive fleet of ships, created an early form of international banking, and amassed a legendary treasure, which some say included sacred relics like the Holy Grail or the Ark of the Covenant. But in 1307, their power came to a sudden and brutal end. King Philip IV of France, deeply in debt to the order, accused the Templars of heresy. On Friday, October 13th, he ordered the arrest of hundreds of Templars, seizing their assets. The thing nobody tells you is that the Templar fleet, along with their legendary treasure, was never found. It simply vanished. For decades, many have speculated that the Templars, master sailors, and engineers escaped their persecution and sailed to the New World, carrying their treasure with them. It sounds like fiction, but many people are crazy about this theory, and the evidence has been slowly mounting. The leaden cross found at Smith's Cove is the most powerful piece of that puzzle to date. Its origin in southern France, a known Templar stronghold, and its medieval dating fit the timeline perfectly. Could Oak Island be the final resting place of the Templar treasure? The cross suggested it was more than just a possibility. It was a probability the team had to explore. This discovery recontextualized dozens of other finds on the island. Suddenly, things started to make sense. Take Nolan's Cross, for example. Discovered by former island landowner and surveyor Fred Nolan, it's a massive formation of 6 large boulders arranged in the shape of a perfect Christian cross, spanning over 800 feet. For years, it was an anomaly, but now it seemed like a giant marker.
We located all the large rocks, like about that size. We didn't know they formed a cross or anything like that, but after we plotted it, you could see it. It is a cross.
A symbol left by the same people who deposited the leaden cross. The geometry was too precise to be natural. Even more tantalizing were the connections to Jerusalem. When overlaid on a map, key points of Nolan's Cross and other island landmarks seemed to mirror the positions of significant sites in the Holy Land. It was a mind-bending revelation. But not all things are what they seem. Was this just a series of incredible coincidences? The team dug deeper looking for more evidence. They found it in the swamp. For years, the murky, triangular swamp on Oak Island was considered a natural feature. But as the team began to investigate, they uncovered evidence that it was man-made. They found an ancient stone roadway, a mysterious U-shaped structure, and most compellingly, the remnants of what appeared to be an old Spanish galleon. The lead cross, however, predated the golden age of Spanish exploration. This suggested that multiple operations from different eras had occurred on the island. Perhaps the Templars came first, burying their treasure, and others, like the Spanish, followed centuries later, attempting to recover it. It was a complex, multi-layered history, far more intricate than a simple pirate story. The island wasn't just a treasure chest, it was a historical battleground. The emotional weight of this connection was palpable, especially for Rick Lagina. He had always been drawn to the more romantic, historical possibilities of the island. While Marty, the pragmatic engineer, focused on the how, Rick always focused on the who and why. The Templar theory resonated with his sense of destiny and purpose. This wasn't just about finding gold anymore, it was about solving one of the greatest historical mysteries of all time, about giving a voice to the people who came to this island centuries ago and performed an incredible feat of engineering in complete secrecy. The leaden cross was their calling card, a message across the centuries. It was proof that the team was on the right path. The find ignited a fire in the Fellowship, but the path forward was still unclear. A legacy of loss. The legend of Oak Island is not just one of treasure, it is also one of tragedy. An old prophecy whispers that 7 people must lose their lives in the quest before the island will reveal its secrets. To date, 6 men have perished. This grim tally casts a long, dark shadow over the entire operation. From a man who was scalded to death by a bursting boiler in 1861 to a group of 4 men who were overcome by poisonous gas in a shaft in 1965, the island has a history of fighting back. This curse is something the team takes seriously. Every time they drill a new borehole or send a diver into the murky depths, they are keenly aware of the risks. It adds a layer of gravity and urgency to their work. They are not just digging for treasure, they are wrestling with a deadly legacy. The financial cost of the Oak Island hunt is staggering. It is estimated that the Lagina brothers and their partners have invested tens of millions of dollars into the project. Heavy machinery, advanced scanning technology, expert consultants, and a full-time crew do not come cheap. This isn't a weekend hobby, it's a massive industrial operation. Marty Lagina, a successful energy entrepreneur, funds the majority of the project. His pragmatic, business-like approach often clashes with his brother Rick's more romantic, dream-driven perspective. This dynamic is at the heart of the show. It's the battle between faith and finance, between the heart and the head. Every season they must ask themselves, how much is too much? When does the dream become a financial nightmare? But the true cost isn't measured in dollars or even in lives lost. It's measured in time. Rick Lagina, a retired postal worker, has dedicated his life to this mystery. He has sacrificed years, pouring his energy and soul into this small patch of land. The discovery of the leaden cross was a moment of profound vindication, but it also highlighted the immense personal sacrifice. The tears in his eyes were not just for the discovery itself, but for the long, arduous journey that led him to it. It was a release of decades of hope, frustration, and unwavering belief. You see, for Rick, this was never just about getting rich. It was about proving that the story was real, that the magic he felt as a boy reading that magazine article was not just a childish fantasy. The obsession has been passed down through generations. Before the Laginas, there were the Blankenships, the Restles, and the Chappells. Dan Blankenship, a legendary figure in the island's history, spent over 50 years of his life searching for the treasure, passing away in 2019 at the age of 95. His relentless spirit is a source of inspiration for the current team. They are not just digging for themselves, they are digging for Dan, for the Restall family, and for everyone who ever dared to believe. They are the custodians of a 200-year-old dream. This sense of responsibility adds another layer of emotional weight to every discovery and every setback. They are part of a long chain of obsession, a fellowship that stretches across centuries. This is why the discovery of the leaden cross was so powerful. It wasn't just a win for the current team, it was a win for everyone who had ever sacrificed for the mystery. It honored their legacy and suggested that their faith and their losses were not in vain. But one cross does not solve the entire puzzle. It only deepens the mystery. The leaden cross pointed to the who, but the what and where remained elusive. While the Templar connection was stronger than ever, the ultimate prize was still buried deep within the island's clutches. The focus inevitably returned to the area that started it all, the money pit. For years, the original shaft has been lost to collapses and subsequent excavations, but the team has pinpointed its likely location using modern technology. It's here that some of the most startling scientific data has emerged. Water samples taken from deep boreholes have shown astonishingly high concentrations of precious metals. Tests revealed significant traces of both gold and silver, with one expert declaring there could be a dump truck load of silver beneath their feet. Will they finally uncover the Templar treasure, or is the curse destined to claim another victim? What do you think is really buried on Oak Island? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more incredible mysteries.